Live from our studios at One Television Plaza, this is your Mid-Ohio Valley Morning Brief.
Good morning, Mid-Ohio Valley, and thanks for joining us on your Morning Brief. I'm Emma Grace Myers.
And I'm Thomas Chase. Good morning, everyone. Nice to almost the end of the work week on Thursday.
It's the end of my work week. I'm off tomorrow. It's Friday for me.
I'm very much envy you right now.
It's a good day.
It is a good day.
But unfortunately, I will be driving through some rain tomorrow, won't I?
Actually, I don't think tomorrow. We're going to see partly cloudy skies, at least here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Maybe a little bit more heavier rain chances off towards the east as that system starts to slide through. But for us, tomorrow is going to be very beautiful. Hopefully, you won't be jealous of that. But what we're watching for today, some storms will be arriving this afternoon. We will be staying in the 60s through at least Friday. But winter is not done yet, so Grace, when you return on Sunday, some snow is going to be back here in our area.
I told Henry if I have to drive back through snow on Sunday, it's over. I'm done.
Well, quite the turnaround though, because today we're tracking thunderstorms. We're even tracking some severe thunderstorms across our area. Potentially, we're under a tier 1 out of 5 risk for severe thunderstorms. Main threat going to be just some large hail. Other than that, that's really on the low end, but can't rule out some gusty winds as well, and even a very, very, very low chance of a stray isolated tornado. So taking your dog for a walk today, going to be better earlier in the day rather than later as those thunderstorms start to develop. Ultimately topping out around 60 degrees today as our high, with those showers and storms developing late in the day. But overall, a very, very warm day across our area for February. Then going to Friday, 63 in just a couple minutes. Immigration. I'm going to be tracking out the rest of the weekend as well as that snow chance on Sunday.
Very, very not exciting, if you ask me.
It's exciting for someone who loves weather, but I know for the average non-weather enthusiast that it's probably a pretty big bummer that we're getting rid of these 60s and coming back to winter.
A major bummer. But speaking of spring being on the way, graduation season is also coming.
It is.
And a local high school counselor is sharing some advice for high school seniors as graduation gets closer. Parkersburg High School counselor Brian Sprague says about half of the seniors he talks to know what path they want to take after they leave school. Sprague says with his students, he discusses their favorite classes and hobbies to help nudge them in the right direction. He recommends for students to have a game plan, but still enjoy their time in high school.
Plan ahead, but still don't get anxious and nervous where it takes away from experiencing, especially the last part of your senior year. And with the friendships, because with a lot of these students through high school, this may be the last time that you see with them. Just experiencing that experience, just the high school experience itself.
Sprague adds it's also okay for students to be undecided, as many people make different life and career changes throughout their time. You know, I feel like I was pretty solid when I went to college in terms of my major, but I definitely changed career paths within that major quite a few times.
I don't think I did. Meteorology is so specific that there's not really that much you can branch off of. It's really only TV or government. So I guess there are some private private companies that do meteorology, but other than that, not really that much option for me.
Yeah, I went in thinking I wanted to be like a chief of staff for a politician, and then I wanted to go to law school, and then I realized I hate law.
There's a time in my life where I wanted to do law school and become like a lawyer or an attorney or something.
You'd be a good lawyer.
I think I would. I like arguing, so I like saying my case and winning cases, so I think I could. Maybe a long way away. Maybe one day I'll go to law school. Maybe.
Yeah. I took a couple law classes. I had to for my criminal justice major, and it really reinforced that law school is not for me. I don't like memorizing all this stuff. I have the personality. I'm good for TV.
Well, did you learn anything about scams or like potential scams at all during your legal cases?
A little bit. Most of what I focused on was criminal law, obviously. So it was more like murder and
Well, I say that because if you didn't order them, don't plant them. The West Virginia Department of Agriculture wants to warn you about a seed scam taking root in mailboxes. Now, while the origin of these scams remains a mystery, there doesn't seem to be an immediate risk for citizens who get these mail seeds in the mail. Tim Brown, Director of Plant Industries for the WV Department of Agriculture, said only about 100 samples have been sent to the USDA office department for testing and identification. He said if you decide to dispose of the seeds yourself, make sure you dispose of them responsibly.
A good suggestion would be if they get the seeds, go ahead and make that contact, send them in. But if somebody's like, well, I don't want these, make sure you, if someone would just want to do that, you would seal them in a sealed bag, put them in municipal trash, send them to landfill. But the best choice would be to send them into the department, and then we can forward that sample on, and USDA botanists can identify that, through the seed source.
Now, Brown said the USDA has not found any noxious weeds or viruses from the seeds. The USDA then destroys them after identifying the seeds. Emma Grace, I haven't received any of those.
I would open the package and I would be like, oh, look, a fun plant. And then I would totally plant it.
No, my thing is if I'm not expecting any mail, I don't open it.
Well,
Advertisements, don't open. Straight to the trash.
I am that way with letters, but my friend sends me a lot of packages. Well, I don't pay for Amazon Prime, so she'll order stuff for me, and then I'll forget that I asked her to order it, and then it'll show up, and I'll be like, oh, this box is here. I wonder what's in it. Especially if it has my name on it, I'm opening it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird to be mailing people seeds. I wonder if it's like doing something to like the soil or something. I don't know.
Well, it seems like bioterrorism.
Yeah. So that's probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, don't plant the seeds that come in the mail.
Yes.
Unless you know what they are. But let's move on to our last local story because a big win is coming for high school sports in West Virginia. The West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission voted yesterday to officially sanction girls wrestling. The sport will now have its own state championship starting in the 2026-27 school year. The move recognizes explosive growth. In just 3 years, participation has more than doubled from 142 to over 300 student athletes across 86 schools, according to a news release from the WVSSAC. Girls will compete in a separate championship tournament with regional qualifying. Executive Director Wayne Ryan says it gives female athletes a clear pathway to compete at the highest level. My high school didn't have wrestling.
Really? Mine did. Mine was pretty good at wrestling.
I don't even know if the public schools in my area had wrestling.
I feel like wrestling is a very popular sport.
I guess. Now it's going to bug me. I'm going to have to look it up to see.
They have to have, because I think wrestling's pretty big.
Yeah, maybe. I would not. I'd be a terrible wrestler.
Oh no, I would be too. I can't even box.
Put me in a boxing ring, I'll have a grand old time. But wrestling, it's just not my thing.
I think I've worn fake boxing gloves once in my life. You know those big like plastic ones that you can win at like arcades or something. I think I've had those on, but like actual boxing gloves, never have.
My favorite, well, I boxed in college and I kickboxed in college. But sometimes when we have Movement Mondays, Stacey will come in and she'll bring boxing stuff, and I get to hit Henry, which is it truly makes my Mondays. I'll tell you that. But let's move on to our national story for this morning, and it's about social media. Because on Wednesday, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg took the stand in a lawsuit that could affect hundreds of other cases by families who say their children have been harmed or even died because of social media. Zuckerberg testified before a jury for the first time ever about accusations that social media, including Instagram, is harmful to children's mental health. A 20-year-old woman identified only as Kaylee accuses Meta and YouTube of designing addictive features that hooked her as a small child, causing anxiety, depression, and body dysmorphia. Meta denies those allegations and says it's implemented numerous measures to safeguard young users. At the core of Zuckerberg's testimony were questions about what Meta knew about the potential risk to young people and whether it did enough to mitigate them. A Meta spokesperson has said in part that they are, quote, confident the evidence will show our long-standing commitment to supporting young people, end quote. I think social media is addictive.
I do too. I also find it funny that you said Metagate because you were talking about Meta instead of mitigate. Metagate. That sounds like a
Watergate conspiracy.
Yeah, like an investigation. The name Metagate. That's also what it should be called, Metagate. If it's ever
write that down.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be a great name, Metagate.
I think call up NBC and let them know.
Yeah.
They should start covering it as Metagate.
Yes.
That is something.
It is.
But Yeah.
I think it is addictive. I think, especially for younger kids, believe, yeah.
I
Definitely.
can't even imagine having a preteen and trying to deal with navigating social media. Because at least for us, like, when did you get social media?
It was in high school sometime.
Okay. I got it as a 7th grader.
Okay, I think that's a little too young.
Well, I had a great argument. I wrote up a whole argument for my parents because that was when I moved.
That sounds just like you.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly, going to law school. Yep, I can see it now.
That was when I moved from North Carolina to Virginia. So my whole thing was like, oh, if you let me have social media, that's how I'll stay in touch with all of my friends.
Okay, that's a smart argument.
I know. It obviously worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, now. But I also feel like it was a little less scary. Social media was a little less scary when we first got on it.
Yeah, it's gone way out of proportion over the past couple of years. So
yeah,
especially with TikTok, and now everything has a reel of some sort. So yeah.
My screen time does not need to be discussed on air. But we'll have more fun stories coming up after the break, including a record-breaking Pokemon card and a famous Mardi Gras arrest. And don't forget, another look at your forecast with Thomas Chase.
Weather update with meteorologist Thomas Chase.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. It's been a very warm February week here in the Mid Ohio Valley with our highs up into the upper 50s to even 60 degrees here and there. That's going to be the same thing going into today and tomorrow. Heading out the door this morning, going to be starting off, though, in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees, but once again rising to 60 degrees today as our high. But the new addition to the pattern today, some storms will be entering our region later in the day by the evening commute time frame. So what we're watching over the next couple of days, those storms will be staying around us for today, especially going to the overnight hours tonight. Also going to be keeping with those highs in the 60s going through at least Friday. Then a cold front will slide through tomorrow, dropping us down to 50 on Saturday, 30 on Sunday, and that leads to some snow potentially going into the end of the weekend. So the winter is not done yet. We still have at least one more month of winter officially. Now everyone is under a tier 1 out of 5 risk for severe thunderstorms today. Really the main threat, just going to be some larger hail potentially across our area. Even that is on the low end, but can't rule out some gusty winds as well, and even a very, very, very low chance at an isolated tornado. So going throughout Futurecast today, looking at some thunderstorms bubbling up during the afternoon time frame around 2 to 3 p.m. That's when the first little thunderstorms start to appear in our region. They continue throughout the evening time frame going into the overnight hours tonight. This is around 9 p.m. As you can see, that rainfall is making its way through our region. Then very, very heavy rainfall appears by 2 to 3 a.m. luckily as we're asleep, but don't be surprised if you get waken up to a rumble of thunder here and there, or even the heavier downpours that we're going to see overnight tonight. But as for your morning commute on Friday, going to be off to a dry and clear start, so not going to have any issues tomorrow morning. Then as you can see, those clouds start to return to our area by the afternoon, and that's when that cold front will be sliding through. So how much rain will be looking? Good, pretty good dosing of rainfall across our area, maybe upwards of an inch to an inch and a half of rainfall across our area. So good rainfall for us here, good soaking, really depending on where those heavier downpours line up. Temperature trend over the next week, 63 on Friday, then falling off back to the 30s by Sunday. Winter returning for a little bit, 33 on Monday, then we slowly start to rise back up. So when we see that 30-degree high on Sunday, tracking some snow showers, unfortunately. So looking at maybe upwards of an inch of snowfall throughout our area on Sunday. Not really going to be that much of an issue, but still looking like we could see at least a little bit more snowfall across our area for this winter season. This morning, though, going to be starting off in those 40s, going throughout the morning hours, rising to the 50s, and ultimately topping out around 60 degrees today with those showers and thunderstorms late in the day. Another very warm day across the Mid-Ohio Valley. Tonight, dipping down around 53 degrees. With those showers and storms, that rain will be heavy at times. Remember, around 2 to 3 a.m., that's what the HER model is indicating. That's when the bulk of the rainfall will be moving through. Some very heavy downpours as well. For your Friday, a very, very beautiful day. My pick of the week, 63 degrees, partly cloudy, warm and breezy. But look at those sustained winds, 20 miles per hour as that cold front slides through. Enjoy Friday while you can. Winter does return on Sunday, 36, 33 on Monday. 38 on Tuesday, and then back up into the 40s by Wednesday. So a very brief little burst of winter going into the end of February. Hopefully by the time that March returns, or first day of March, we'll be back hopefully to the upper 40s, around 50 around average. So, Emma Grace, going to be very cold for a little bit. Warm on Friday though, so definitely enjoy. I know you won't be here, but you'll be here in spirit. But now, I think it's time for What's Trending.
Well, we got two stories about some famous people this morning.
Okay.
So the first one, actor Shia LaBeouf is facing battery charges after he allegedly assaulted 2 people during Mardi Gras celebrations in New Orleans early Tuesday morning. Police say a staff member at a business tried to remove LaBeouf after he reportedly became aggressive. That is when LaBeouf allegedly punched one victim and then hit another person in the nose. LaBeouf was held down until police arrived. He was injured and taken to the hospital before being released and arrested. What is he in? I know he's an actor, but
I don't know. I know Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise, and that's about. I know Glenn Powell too, from Twisters. That's the extent of my actor knowledge.
You can only name 3 actors.
Yeah.
That's it, and not a single woman. You can't name a single woman.
I don't watch movies in general.
This is really embarrassing for you.
I don't watch TV shows and I don't watch movies. I could get back to me.
No.
Let me think. Let me think for a sec. I know. Oh my gosh.
A single woman actress, just one.
No, not off the top of my head. That's really bad. That's really embarrassing. I just don't watch them.
But you follow the news. Don't.
Yeah, not really Hollywood news though. I know Taylor Swift. She's an actress in some things.
Okay, sure.
She is. She
was in the Lorax.
I know Sabrina Carpenter. I know Lana Del Rey.
You're just naming musicians.
Because they're also actresses.
Lana Del Rey's an actress?
I think so.
Maybe. I don't know about that. I think we need to fact check that one.
I don't know.
But you're going to be talking about a YouTuber.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hopefully I know this. It's one of the last things most people will consider a good investment. But Logan Paul's big bet on a Pokemon card has paid off in a world record fashion. The WWE star brought a rare Pikachu Illustrator card 5 years ago for more than $5.2 million. On Monday, the card sold at auction for nearly $16.5 million, along with a diamond-encrusted necklace. The card is one of just 39 created for a Pokemon illustration competition in the late 90s. It's believed that Paul will bank more than $8 million after auction fees are paid. Now, Paul called the auction selling price, quote, absolutely insane. Pokemon is the world's highest grossing media franchise ahead of Disney and Star Wars. Even Star Wars, I had no clue Pokemon was that popular and valuable.
Yeah,
that's
Pokemon
insane.
Cards go crazy.
That's insane.
Were you a big Pokemon fan as
No.
a child?
No.
Do you have a favorite Pokemon?
Pikachu.
That's such a basic
That's
answer.
the only one I know. I know what's the fire one called? It's like
Charizard.
yeah,
right?
I know Charizard and I know Pikachu.
There's Squirtle. He's the turtle.
I've heard of Squirrel.
Piplup is the penguin. That's my personal favorite. Piplup.
I wonder where they get the names from.
I don't know.
I would love to be the person who names Pokemon.
New
Get paid
career
to do
path,
that? Yeah, I would love to do
Pokemon.
that. I would love to do that.
I think the starter Pokemon, you have Pikachu, you have Squirtle, you have either Charmander or Charizard and Bulbasaur, I think.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm pulling this, that's actually crazy knowledgeable. Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle.
Yeah.
Confirmed by our director. That was really good for me. For someone who never played Pokemon and just watched the show.
Definitely, yeah.
But we have some more fun facts this morning, mainly related to our Daybreak trivia question. Our question was, how long was the shortest presidential term in Mexico's history? And the answer was 45 minutes. So Pedro Lascurian was a Mexican politician and lawyer who served as the 38th president of Mexico for 45 minutes in 1913. Lascurian previously served as Mexico's foreign secretary for 2 terms. His government lasted for less than an hour, during which he appointed the coup's leader, Victoriano Huerta, to the role of foreign secretary. He promptly resigned and then was succeeded by Huerta. So there's your answer. You were asking me earlier why.
That's interesting.
It was
I'll have to look into that more.
Yeah, it was a coup, and he assumed the presidency, and then he was like, I don't want to be president. This person should be. So he appointed them and then resigned.
Huh.
Making moves.
I never even knew about that. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to go down the Wikipedia, the loophole tonight. But
yeah.
I also thought of another female actress, Ariana Grande, from Wicked. And then Cynthia, I don't know her last name. Cynthia Erivo. I know she was Elphaba, but yeah, I do know the Wicked because that's actually the last movie I watched. Wicked Part 2.
Margot Robbie, there's an actress.
Was that the older lady?
In Wicked?
Yeah.
No, Margot Robbie was not in Wicked.
Oh. I don't know.
You don't know Margot Robbie?
No.
She was in Barbie. She was Barbie.
Oh, I did watch Barbie.
Yeah, she was in Wolf of Wall Street, Suicide Squad.
Did not watch any of those. I'm very picky when it comes to movies. It has to be like the big movie of the year, and I'll go watch it. Because I don't go to the movies in general because eventually in like 3 or 4 months, it's going to be on some streaming platform.
Yeah, but there are so many movies on streaming platforms that you now could watch.
Well,
Have you seen Mamma Mia?
No. The musical?
Yeah.
I know it's a musical. I've not seen the movie.
Okay, you need to watch Mamma Mia. Okay. Everything else I can look past, but you not watching Mamma Mia is a crime in my book.
The only musical I've been to is The Lion King. And that was very, very good.
Austin just said he hasn't seen it either, and it reminds me that I only work with men and I miss female companionship who know good movies.
I just don't watch movies or TV shows.
Wow.
I watch live sports.
Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Maybe Thomas can go watch some movies or TV shows.
It's my homework tonight.
It's his homework. I won't be here tomorrow to make sure you did it, but I expect a text to tell me what you watched tonight. Okay. But that's it for your morning brief today. He's Thomas Chase. I'm Emma Grace Myers. Have a great day, everyone.